Hey everybody, this is Brian with Inspiring How You See That. We're the channel that brings you all kinds of entertainment and music, and we interview some of your favorite artists. So if that sounds interesting, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. You'll keep up with everything that we're doing. And today is a day I've been waiting for a while. I'm very pumped. I've got Matt James, the lead singer of Blacktop Mojo, with me.
Yes, sir.
So Matt, thank you so much for spending this time with us.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
And we're here at Craft House in Pittsburgh. So how long has this tour been going on, this current one?
This current run, I think we've been on the road for 2 weeks, I want to say. We left on the 10th, July 10th. That was our first show. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, how has the last year and a half been? I mean, because like everybody, it's not been what you expected.
It's been kind of a bad dream, man. It seems like a bad dream now that we're back out here, but for a while there, it was weird, man, because it was just oh well, maybe next month we'll be able to open up, and maybe next month we'll be able to go, and that went for about 18 months. You know what I'm saying? And it was good though. So we got to write our new album, and we got to do. Unfortunately, we live in Texas, so Texas was a little more open some of the time with some of the shows and stuff. We got to do some half-capacity shows here and there and do some one-off shows, and so we didn't completely miss out for a whole year, but it's definitely not the same as being on the tour bus.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, like you had mentioned the new album coming out, so you guys did not rest on your laurels and just kind of sit back, because I know you were doing a lot of live streaming, a lot of things of that nature.
We released the EP during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah. We kind of did everything we could, man. Yeah.
So when is the new album coming out?
New album will be out August 13th.
Okay.
12 songs.
And that's a self-titled?
Self-titled.
Okay.
Self-titled. That was kind of a decision based on this is our fourth album now, so we kind of feel like we kind of have gotten the recording thing down and kind of found a sound that kind of represents us, and so we decided this is the self-titled one, you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, and actually, as we sit here today, so by the time this will come out, this song will come out, but you have a new song coming out in 2 days.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that one.
So that song's called "Wicked Woman," and it's the first song on the album. It's a hard rocking, it's a fast-paced jammer of a song. I guess.
Nice. I saw the teaser. You were kind of showing off your dance moves a little bit.
Yeah. I'm trying to get better. I don't know if that's the liquor or or just heat stroke that night. That was kind of
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, when did you guys start as a band? And kind of walk me through how you all got together and made Blacktop Mojo.
We started in late 2012. I met the drummer after college. I was working at a coffee shop in Palestine, Texas, where we're from, and I would book acoustic acts. It's like a coffee sandwich shop, and I was doing them working behind the counter, you know. And anytime I couldn't book an acoustic act for that night, the owner of the place would let me fill the time. So after a while, I just quit booking acts because it's way more fun playing music than making sandwiches and coffee. So I'm sure he wasn't too happy about that, but he was cool. But I met Nathan, our drummer, through some mutual friends, and it was one of those things where everybody's like, "Oh, this guy plays the drums," and "Oh, this guy should sing." "Oh, you guys should start a band." And forever we're just like, "Oh, yeah, all right, what's up, man?" Kind of brush it off.
Yeah.
And one night we ran into each other at a Cody Johnson concert, country concert in Tyler, Texas, and both of us were pretty inebriated. And I was like, "Hey, man, I'm playing at the coffee shop tomorrow. You should come down." And he was like, "Oh, yeah, man, I'll come check it out." And luckily he was drunk enough to agree to that and not drunk enough to forget.
So see, when people say nothing good comes out of drinking, they're lying.
They're lying. There's all kinds of stories, man. But anyway, he showed up, and he watched me play and invited me back to his house that night. And he had a drum set set up in his living room. And he kind of started going off on it. I was like, "Oh, man." And so we just sat down that night and decided to start a band. And at first, we had a buddy of mine from high school that played in some metal bands named Kenneth Irwin. He was our first guitar player.
Okay.
And it was us three jamming in the coffee shop, and then a buddy of his named Chris Davis that would play bass for us. And then we kind of, from there, just started playing gigs and had some member changes here and there. Kat, our bass player now, he worked at a venue in Tyler, and Ki, our first guitar player, moved off to Nashville and was doing his own thing for a little while. And Kat, we invited to come play guitar. And then Chris left, and Ki came back, and then Ki left again, and we found Chuck, and that's kind of how it is now. I'm sorry, that was a long story, but
well, Chuck's actually from Wisconsin, right?
Chuck's
if I remember
from Wisconsin,
Okay.
yeah. And he played in a bunch of some metal bands and like a couple of hard rock bands, and then our manager at the time that Ki left was like, "Hey man, I know this guy. He's from Wisconsin." And we started talking to Chuck on the phone, and Chuck came down 3 days before the tour and had all the songs memorized, and like we did some rehearsal, and he didn't miss a beat, so he's been with us ever since.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. So one of the things that whenever I tell people about you guys, and they say, "What do they sound like?" I'm like, "Well, it's kind of hard rock and blues and country mixed together." And the best thing I thought of is if you think of if Lynyrd Skynyrd came out today, they'd be you guys. Is that a fair assessment?
That's a cool compliment. That's a very high compliment, man. A lady described us one time as Texas grunge. So
okay,
like,
that works.
Yeah, like because we're all big fans of like Alice in Chains and Soundgarden and stuff like that. So we draw a lot on that, but we're from the South, so it's kind of got this little Southern fried flavor to it for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now walk me through, if you don't mind, the songwriting process that you guys go through.
It's a little different for each song. Most of the time, it's like a guy has a guitar riff, or I'll have like a lyric idea or melody idea, something like that, and a couple of us will sit down and kind of hash something out, and then we'll all get together in a room and just see what comes of it, and kind of develop the parts of each song and flush them all out like that. So
nice.
It's a very collaborative group effort kind of thing. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. Now, when you're performing live, what you're going to do tonight here, what's your favorite song to perform live for fans?
Oh man, that's a hard question. We've been doing a cover of Tush by ZZ Top. That's been pretty fun to do live here lately. And then as far as original tunes, we got a new song from the new album called Money, or Do It for the Money.
Okay.
And that's been fun. Really, it's really hard to choose a favorite, man. They're all fun. It's fun to play shows, man.
Absolutely. Now, you had mentioned the cover of Tush.
Yeah.
And I got to bring up your cover of Dream On.
Okay.
I think you guys did an absolutely my dad, who's here today, also loves that.
What's up, Dad?
So what made you guys decide, hey, I'm going to try to tackle one of the greatest songs ever and put it out there for the world?
Well, this is before we did our second album. We had just kind of started our YouTube channel, and we were just like, what do we put on it? You know what I mean? And we started doing some covers. We did In Color by Jamie Johnson, and Hemorrhage by Fuel, and then we had a buddy of ours come up and was like, man, you also do Dream On? And we were like, probably not.
Look, have you ever tried that song?
Yeah. But then that seed kind of stuck in our head, and we went out there one day and just kind of was like, well, we can try it, and if it's terrible, then we don't have to put it out or whatever. And we ended up doing it and showing it to some of our family and friends and stuff, and they were like, this is not bad. And so we ended up putting it out there, and it kind of sat out there for a while. And then by the time we went to go record our second record, it had just surpassed like 1 million views on YouTube, and we were like, oh man, there's something to this right here, man.
Yep.
And so we ended up putting that on our second record.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So you had mentioned, of course, the album's coming out. You got a new song within the next couple of days. What else can fans expect from you guys coming up soon?
A lot more touring, a lot more tour dates.
Nice.
I think we'll be announcing some very soon. Probably by the time this comes out, we'll have a whole new leg of tour dates announced and everything. And yeah.
Excellent. So make sure we'll put the links down below for all their stuff. So check out the new music, check out the tour dates.
Yeah,
if they're coming near you, you got to see them.
Got a new video coming out for the new song on Wednesday as well. So
nice. So that'll be out.
Yeah.
Make sure you check that. And before we go, Matt, what would you like to say to fans?
Pre-order our new record. It comes out August 13th.
I did.
Yeah. Blacktopmojo.com.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So again, Matt, thank you so much for spending this time. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And as always, thank you guys so much for spending this time. Make sure you check these guys out. They're one of my favorite bands. I've talked about them quite a bit on the channel. So we love you all. God bless, and rock on.
There's nothing left to find. There's nothing more than